Yeah, I believe that we are doing too much. You know, you look at the amount of money that we're spending over there. You know, where's Europe? This is on their backyard, right? And what we saw under the Trump administration was a president that was willing to call out the nations of NATO and say, hey, you have systemically underinvested on national defense. Not just for the last year or two, but for decades. And that sustained underinvestment where, you know, they have a 2% of GDP commitment that they make under NATO for investing in national defense. And if many of them were under 1%, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's half of what they should be doing. And it's half of what they should be doing for decades. And when you have that much weakness, you encourage aggression. And that's what we saw. That's what we are seeing. We're seeing aggression, right? Now, the United States, let's be real clear here, is part of the problem as it relates to Ukraine. We have been meddling in those affairs for decades, since the fall of the Soviet Union. And we have some culpability in this. We've used Ukraine as sort of a chess piece on the U.S. foreign policy board. And you know, eventually you get bit when you do that. When you interfere with the affairs of other nations in these ways, when you're actively engaged in regime change, right? Think about that for just 1 second. Regime change. What does that mean when the United States goes into another foreign country's operating norms and says, we're gonna swap out that leader? Doesn't that sort of sound similar to what was thrown out as an accusation in 2016? People should be ashamed that we engage in the domestic activities of other nations, so much so that we were willing to swap out leaders. What happened to self-determination? I thought that was the basis of being an American. It's wrong. And this foreign policy of ours, of meddling in other people's affairs, bites us over and over and over again. It's what pulled us into the Middle East in the first place.